Hello and welcome back to the PES 2020 Master League with AS Roma. Been a wee while since we've uploaded on this particular series on the channel, mainly due to the fact that there's been other stuff going on, that other stuff primarily being Last of Us Part 2. Does anyone ever notice when they're playing that somebody seems to be cutting onions nearby every time it's played? But maybe that's just me, I don't know. But yeah, that and some other stuff has just been generally going on. But either way, that's all done and done with. That's not the turn of phrase, you idiot. Done and dusted. So we're back on the PES 2020 Master League bandwagon slash train slash megabus as we roll in towards the end of the season. Not too long left to go now. And in this episode with two massive games, we have our second leg of our last 16 Champions League tie against Lille, and we also have the potential title decider away against Juventus. As you can see, we sit second in the Serie A table, a point behind Juventus, and this is why. So a good few games to get through in this quick recap before we get on to the main event. Those two games against Lille and Juventus. The first one up against AC Milan, and holy dear sweet lord, this game was difficult. I mean, maybe it's because they're a partner club, but Christ alive, I couldn't get anywhere bloody near them. They kept the ball ridiculously well and barely got any shots off on target. But when we did, it was through Gabi Barbosa, and that is an absolute perler into the back of the net. The Brazilian gives us a huge lead against Milan. Former Inter striker, of course. But yeah, like I said, it was so difficult, and this was pretty much immediately from kickoff. Piontek goes through and absolutely thunder bastards one into the back of the net. Absolutely nothing you could do about it. That's pretty much what it was like. It was like I lost all my players had lost the ability to pass the ball 2 yards ahead of them. It was bloody infuriating, and to be honest, we were lucky to get out of that game with a point. So, but I will take it. Admittedly, it's not perfect. Going trying to extend our advantage at the top of the league over Juve, but a point's a point. It's better than nothing, as they say. I don't know who they are, but people say it, so it must be true. Maybe, I don't know. Going into the first round, the first leg of our first knockout stage game against Lille, we played a slightly rotated lineup because I figured, you know, well, I'm confident. I'm bloody confident, and I had every right to be, as Edin Dzeko, the mercurial marksman, some lovely alliteration there, gives us the away goal that we needed. Go forward again, ball's rolled in, and that is an absolutely appalling miss from, I think that's Brian Cristante. You should be bloody ashamed of yourself as Lille go forward. They didn't really offer a whole heap going forward. That was probably their best chance of the game, as Justin Kluivert has played through, and Magnon, I don't know where he's going, but he's left a massive gap. And even Justin Kluivert couldn't miss that particular one-on-one. There we go, it's a monumental occasion. Kluivert has managed to score a one-on-one, and Victor Osimhen got a shot away and hit the stanchion. Is that the stanchion? The pole behind the goal, or is that where the post and crossbar meet? I can never remember. But either way, Edin Dzeko remembers how to put the ball in the net, despite not playing as much as he normally does, which we're incredibly grateful for. 3-0 against Lille, 3 away goals, and we nearly got 4 right at the end. But Magnon makes the save, and that was the last action of the game. A 3-0 victory in the first leg of our last 32 game against Lille, which should be enough to see us through into the last 16, which is the quarterfinal. This is the last 16. I'm talking out my arse. I know nothing about football, but let me just interrupt myself to take a little to go back to what we've just seen. Simone Scuffet, who I've put my faith in as my backup, and I thought, you know what, he's a good young keeper, happy days. And then he's just gone. He's gone a bit mental. Ran out. I thought that's going to be an easy take. Nope, just ran past him, and Chievo took the lead. Thankfully, we were able to get a goal, the equaliser, through Stephen El Shaarawy. But it was bloody ridiculous. Simone Scuffet. A strongly worded letter is coming your way, dear boy. Although, to be fair, there's absolutely nothing he could have done about that, as Chievo took the lead for the second time in the game through... Is that Keenan Davis, the Aston Villa lad? And there you go. Yeah, Chievo took I thought, of all the teams that could possibly wreck our title chances, it's going to be Chievo. Zaniolo misses a one-on-one. To be fair, it's a great save to deny him, but it's a good a save as it was terrible finishing. But thankfully, our main man, Gabby Barbosa, nips in ahead of the keeper, gets his beautiful bounce on the ball and puts it into the back of the Chievo net to draw us level. As El Shaarawy drove forward in the 64th minute, got the ball across, and there is the tap in for, is that Nicola Zaniolo? It's not, it's Henrik Mkhitaryan. I just saw the captain's armband. As Mkhitaryan gives us the lead for the first time in the game. And to be honest, of all, like I say, of all the teams that could have possibly derailed our title challenge, Chievo I wouldn't have put at the top of that particular list. But right at the end of the game, Christian Russo came on, give him some game time, and he goes and does that. It's an absolutely beautiful goal. Bends it away from the keeper, and young Christian Russo, our youth academy prospect, I'll have to see how much goals he's got. There you go. That's the level that we're dealing with here. How many goals he has is what I meant to say. As the final whistle blew, and we get the 4-2 victory, a hard-fought victory against a very game Chievo side. But it's another 3 points in the proverbial bag. We obviously don't put points in bags. That would be stupid. Where would you put them? Our next game, of course, going in was a derby, as Rid Hullet fields some questions, against Lazio. Lazio, who of course did beat us the last time we played in the league. It was our first defeat of the season in the Serie A. The first defeat all season, I think, in general, up until that point. No, it was definitely the first league defeat of the season. And I mean, Harit was determined for that not to happen again, as he absolutely smashes in a shot to give us the lead. And then straight from kickoff we come forward again, and Barbosa, not to be outdone in the twatting it in the net stakes, has just absolutely leathered it. And we go 2-0 up against Lazio as they came forward with Correa, who makes me look a dick, and he's brought down. I'm certain that's inside the box, as we can see here. That's a penalty. Florenzi's given away a penalty, but no, referee said it was on the edge of the box, free kick. I thought, you know what, happy bloody days. That was a definite penalty. We've absolutely got away with that. And we roll on to the final whistle and get a 2-0 victory. If I was Lazio, I'd be bloody furious. And then after the Lazio game, we take on Napoli, the other team to have beaten us this season. We lost to Lazio, and then we lost immediately the next game afterwards to Napoli. So they have beaten us before, and they seemed intent on doing it again, as Fabian Ruiz's shot cannons off Daniele Rugani and into the net. I was absolutely furious, because I thought, if this is how we lose if this is the goal that gives Juventus an advantage in this title race, I'll be absolutely fuming. As Ruiz's shot, it's not troubling Lopez until it takes that horrible deflection off the back of Rugani and into the back of the net. I was so frustrated in this game. I was giving away fouls left, right and centre. Went ultra attacking. Edin Dzeko plays in Gabriel Mancini, who puts it wide from there. Why has he hit it with the outside of his foot? Finally, a free kick, legit last kick of the game, and Florenzi does that. Oh my word, I was jumping about like a mad joke. I'm pretty sure I woke up half the street with my incessant ramblings and words that made no sense. It was just a collection of noises thrown in with some swearing, obviously, as we get a vital point. And what a time for the captain to step up. Absolutely no chance for Carnezes, as that free kick rifles into the top corner. And just to show you how that was legit, the last kick, straight from kickoff, the referee blows his whistle. And we get a 1-1 draw against Napoli. We avoid them doing the double overs, is what I should say. And we get a point, but we fall. The only problem is we've now fallen a point behind Juve with those lapses, as they go back on top of the table and we sit in second. So with that, it is time for the first game of this episode against Lille in our round of 16, second leg in the Champions League. We're 3-0 up from the first leg. So I've rotated the side, a fully rotated side, because I'd like to keep as many of our first teamers fresh for the Juventus game as possible. And considering we're 3-0 up from the first leg with 3 away goals, you'd like to think that this game would be in the proverbial bag. So we have Scuffet in goal with Smalling, Martinez, Quarta, Santon and Tete at the back. Diawara and Veretout in midfield with Zaniolo playing in behind. Centurion, Mkhitaryan and Edin Dzeko starts up front. Against a Lille side of Magnon in goal, Thiago Giallo, Gabriel, Reynaldo, Celik, Andre, Renato Sanchez, Bamba, Buñuel, Ikone and Victor Osimhen up front. We of course knocked Lille out of the Europa League, I think at this stage last season, and we're going to do it to them this year in the Champions League, hopefully if all goes according to plan. So hopefully we'll get through this game and then get into the Juventus game, which is going to be the biggest game of our season if we're going to look to tear away the Scudetto title from Juve. But we'll worry about that in a minute or three. First of all, we have to get through Lille. Under the lights, at night, in Rome, with Chris Smalling. Who could want anything more out of life than that? Like I say, we're 3-0 up going into this second leg. All should be well, although I would like the first goal just to make things as secure as possible. And as much as we'd love to go deep into the Champions League, I mean, we're in it, we might as well try and win it. The league, of course, Serie A is our main objective. We are as well, of course, into the Coppa Italia semi-finals against Sassuolo, so there is a chance at a treble on. So if you get a chance at a treble, why not try and take it? But we have to put all that to the back of our minds and just focus on who is in front of us, and it is the very luridly clad Lille. Bamba. Now here's a Kone. Taking a heavy touch, but he's found his way through to Osimhen, and Scuffet makes the save to deny Victor Osimhen. Scuffet, who has been a little bit dodgy in recent games, has redeemed himself with a very good save. It's awkward, it's unorthodox, but it's effective. Here's Celik, chance here for Lille, ball across Osimhen, he's hit the crossbar, and we scramble it away. As little as there's been happening in this game, the only real chances have fallen to Lille. It's broken very kindly for Osimhen, and Scuffet there again to deny Victor Osimhen. It's getting a bit too close for comfort this now, truth be told. We need to buck the ideas up a bit. Oh, terrible mistake, and Mkhitaryan pounces on it and gives us the lead. That is undeserved, to say the very least. Lille, that is harsh on them, but we will absolutely take it. Any luck we can get, we will take. As Henrik Mkhitaryan pounces on a defensive error. Let's have a look at this. Oh, dearie me. And he's left him on his arse. And he's left with the easy task of just putting it past Magnon into the back of the net. There's Antonucci. Great determination shown by Antonucci. Zaniolo and Russo. And that is it. Game, set and match Roma, as Cristian Russo comes off the bench after terrific work by his fellow youth academy graduate Mirko Antonucci. Great strength, great determination shown by Antonucci. Little ball into Zaniolo, lays it back, and Russo just fires it past Mike Magnon. 5-0 on aggregate, 2-0 on the night. We are into the quarterfinals. Russo. Oh, this is lovely. This is really nice. It's Veretout. It's 3-0. Jordan Veretout. He doesn't score many, but he's got one tonight. 3-0 Roma. This is a very harsh scoreline on Lille. They've had the better of the chances. They just haven't been able to convert them. We've had very few chances, comparatively speaking, but we have been far more clinical, as Jordan Veretout makes it 3-0 on the night, 6-0 on aggregate. 3 minutes of added time at the end of the game. This is a very harsh result on Lille. They did not deserve to lose by 3-0 on the night, nor 6-0 on aggregate. But that's just the way it's gone. A very, very clinical performance, as we could be in for a fourth here as Antonucci comes out, Magnon comes out just to smack it clear. And that should do it, and it does. 3-0 away from home, 3-0 at home, 6-0 on aggregate. And we march on into the quarterfinals of the Champions League with the help from that man, Henrik Mkhitaryan. Got the first goal to begin a 3-0 win. So there are the rest of the results in the last 16. Manchester City are through, as are Real Madrid, Roma, ourselves of course. Lokomotiv Moscow knock out Tottenham. Well, there's a surprise. Lokomotiv Moscow into the quarterfinals. Inter Milan absolutely destroy PSG, so PSG are also out. Bayern knock out Arsenal, as is the case every year. Barcelona knock out Zenit St. Petersburg, and Juventus scrape through against Liverpool on away goals. So Liverpool, PSG and Tottenham all fall in the last 16 stage. So before we move on to our big game against Juventus, let's have a look and see who we've been drawn against in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So there's today's game against Juventus. Then there's our Coppa Italia semi-finals against Sassuolo. As we scroll, Manchester City. Well, there you go. It was never going to be easy, no matter who we got. I mean, Lokomotiv probably would have been the more favourable draw, but Manchester City in the Champions League quarterfinals. Well, if we were going to try and win the thing, we'd have to play the best at some point, so we've got one of the best. If we knock out them, that's one less team to beat. That's how knockout tournaments work, you idiot. There you go. But Manchester City in the Champions League quarterfinals. But that is for another day. This is the game that will define our season, no doubt. Against Juventus, they are a point ahead of us in the table. Keep in mind, we have been upward. We've been about, I think we had like a 5-point advantage on Juve at one point during the season, and we threw it away. No room for error as we go into this game. There's not a whole lot of the season left. And there's, what, 7 games? This is game day number 31. So no slip-ups can be afforded here. If we're going to win this title, this is the game we have to win. We've had our chances to extend any advantage we've had over Juventus, and we've thrown that away. So this is the time to see if we are worthy of being champions. We've gone with our usual lineup. We've rested everyone. Everyone is fully fit against a Juve side of Szczesny in goal, De Ligt, Bonucci, Alexandro Emre Can, Rodrigo Dorado, don't know who he is, Bentancur, Pjanic, Cristiano Ronaldo, Douglas Costa and Mario Mandzukic. This is it. This is the biggest game of our season, the one that will define whether or not we will win a league title. Of course, many things can change between now and the end of the season, but this could be the turning point. The Allianz Stadium plays host to what is going to be a massive, massive game. First versus second, with not a whole heap left on the season. Oh, the nerves. We did beat Juve in the league last time we played through Lorenzo Pellegrini scoring an absolute thunder bastard. However, that counts for nothing as we threw away any advantage that we had and now find ourselves a point behind Juve. So this is it. This is a must. If there was ever a must-win game, this is it. Barbosa looks to play it over the top for Cengiz Ünder, who's taken it down terrifically. He's got the pace on Bonucci. It's still Cengiz Ünder. He's been fouled. Surely he was pushed in the back by Bonucci, but Ünder does get the shot away and forces a save out of Szczesny to win us a corner. Room and time for Spinazzola to run here. Nice ball back to El Shaarawy. That's not a bad ball in, you know. But it is cleared away. Zaniolo picks it up. And now Ünder looks to run around Alexander and get a shot away. It's parried away by Szczesny. And nobody was there on the follow-up. Barbosa. Now Zaniolo, he's in behind here. It's Nicola Zaniolo. He's hit the post. Barbosa on the follow-up. And Gabriel Barbosa has given us the lead away at Juventus. What a start to this second half. Gabriel Barbosa has given us a huge lead. Ball forward, looking for Mandzukic or Bernardeschi. It's Bernardeschi! And from absolutely nowhere, Juventus have levelled it. We have been so comfortable throughout this game. Juve have offered nothing going forward, but one slight lapse in concentration, and they've taken advantage of it. 2 minutes of added time. Let's go. Well, what a waste that was. I was about to say let's go and do something positive and maybe nick a winner, but Juve have just held the ball since they got that equaliser, and there's nothing we've been able to do about it. And that is it. That is it. Is that it for our title challenge? We were so comfortable throughout the majority of that game, and then just one slip up, one piece of AI madness, because I was not controlling Rugani, and it's cost us massively. Still only a point left, still only a point in it, I should say, at the top of the table. They have slipped up before, but it means we have to be perfect the rest of the season and hope that somewhere along the line Juve drop points somewhere. But that is going to do it for this particular episode of the Master League series. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, do hit that like button, do hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you're notified of when we make new videos. There's a whole veritable smorgasbord of stuff on the channel. Have a look through it and hopefully you'll find something that you enjoy. Oh, I'm just gonna go back and take out my misery on a bunch of clickers in The Last of Us 2, so I may not emerge for several days. But while I'm doing that, it remains for me to say to all of you, thank you so much once again for watching, and we will see you as always in the next one.